Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm excited to have Landy Garcia with us today in the office. We're having Landy in today because we're thanking him for a number of reasons. He sponsored us during a 5K, which all the proceeds went to a local school that we are very passionate about. And he's also sponsored us in many events here in the office since we've started. Landy's a longtime friend, and he is the go-to guy when it comes to mortgages. So today Landy's going to tell us a little bit about his background and all the new stuff that you should know about when applying for a mortgage, or if you're a realtor out there who's looking for a partner to work with, he can answer, I'm sure, any mortgage related question. So without any further ado, Landy, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, thank you, Lou. So I am branch manager of Annie Mac Home Mortgage. We run an office with several different loan officers. We work all around the state and work with a lot of different offices in the area, helping with respect to mortgage financing. We offer an array of products and are pretty much a very well equipped mortgage company with respect to a buyer's ability to gain financing depending on what their needs are.
Nice. How long ago have you started in this business? How many years has it been now?
Well, my initial mortgage application as an originator was in 2002.
2002.
Yeah, so it's been a while. Yeah.
It's been a while, yeah. Yeah, I remember when you first got into this business, it was a profession that almost none of us even heard about, and we were kind of confused by the whole thing. But now, obviously, we see why it's obviously your career choice. You know, you get to help people while you earn a great living for your family. Was there at any time in your career that you thought maybe this is the wrong path for you, or was it always like a love at first sight, something that you knew it was meant for you?
Well, initially, like your family, we had a passion for real estate. My father owned properties when we were growing up, and always somewhat surrounded by real estate, and always being in sales, I was drawn to the sales aspect of it, and obviously helping people, and most importantly, helping minorities, Hispanics who had challenges with just the language barriers and things. Those were my first initial clients, and there's a lot of appreciation, there's a lot of gratitude when you can help people that feel like it's something that's impossible, and you make it possible for them. That's that creates a loyal client base, and it's a great level of satisfaction for a professional. Obviously, there were times in this business that weren't very positive. Initially in the early 2000s through 2006 or 7, before the crash, there was an abundance of business. It was a very lucrative business to be in, and then obviously what happened, and things changed, and a lot of us who stuck through those times had to reinvent ourselves and really relearn the business, relearn our marketing approaches just to survive. So there were definitely some dark days in that era, but with a lot of hard work and just perseverance, we kind of got through that, and now the market is, as very very hot. Yeah. These days.
I think the best thing that could have happened to anyone in sales, or especially in real estate, was that downturn that taught everyone that this business is really cyclical, and we should always be prepared for the worst, but obviously always try to conduct ourselves in a manner where we can provide good service to our clients, but also with the mindset that things may change, and the products you guys offer now are more stable type of loans as opposed to what was available back then.
Yes, absolutely. The downturn in the market definitely eliminated a lot of opportunists, if you were, that were just in the business to rip people off, for lack of a better term, seizing an opportunity that was driven basically off of what we call bad paper, mortgage products that should never have existed, put a lot of people in bad situations, hence, the mass amount of foreclosures and short sales that occurred due to people, having mortgages reset and not being able to meet those obligations. So those type of products going away and exiting the market creates what we have now, a history of the last 5 to 7 years of what we call good paper.
Yeah.
You know, that everything is fully documented. You have to be able to document that you can afford to repay the obligation. Otherwise, you're not getting financed, and that is what's creating the stability in the market today.
You know, what's funny is that when I first got started in this business, it was unheard of for someone to actually show their tax returns and pay stubs to qualify for a loan. It would almost be like, why are you going to bother the clients to do all that? You know, you can just put them into a stated loan for almost the same rate.
Exactly. There were many companies that was their motto, and a lot of those companies don't exist today for obvious reasons. But it was almost as if a company that was trying to do, say, a standard FHA or standard conventional loan in 2006, 2007 would lose market share because they can go to XYZ bank and have a fast and easy done in, 15 days.
What advice would you give to a new home buyer now, someone who's just maybe a millennial or maybe someone who's just late to the party? If they want to start getting themselves prepared for their first acquisition, what should they be doing in order to get ready for that?
Absolutely. So the first step that you need to take is contact a preferred mortgage lender and get educated on the products that are available. Have your credit reviewed, have your income reviewed. We, in our branch, we do a thorough pre-approval prior to introducing a client into the housing market and looking to get into contract on a property, because it's important to understand the habits of a buyer, how they manage their bank accounts, basically how they operate on a finance with their finances, so that you can avoid creating hurdles. So if you're looking for a property or thinking about buying your first home, you contact us, we'll review credit. If your credit score isn't where it needs to be, we'll give you the guidance as to what you need to do in order to get to the point of eligibility or the point where you're going to get the best terms on your financing. We can review your bank statements and isolate any activity that would create a hurdle. One of the things that new buyers don't understand is that people don't live their lives by lending guidelines. You literally could get asked and questioned on minimal deposits that are being made into your account that are out of the ordinary, and for an average person it's like, well, it's my business. What does it matter that I deposited $1,000 into my account? And those are things that can be frustrating. The mortgage process, because of everything that happened during the crash, is a very intrusive and document intensive process. So we do a very good job of setting the right expectation for the buyers and letting them know, listen, these are the steps, these are the hurdles that could occur, and we do everything proactively to try to avoid those issues throughout the loan process. So get educated would be the first thing that you need to know. Learn exactly where you stand credit-wise. Identify what your budget is with respect to mortgage payment, so that when your pre-qualification, pre-approval is complete, you can go to your realtor knowing exactly what price range you want to be in.
Correct. I remember reading one of your emails one day, and your signature at the bottom of the email says, if you're under contract to purchase a house, don't go out applying for credit cards, shopping for getting car loans. And it's funny that you do that, and I joked on you about putting it, but it's true, because we even recently did a skit where there was a realtor who's frustrated because his deal was clear to close. Then they pulled credit again, and they noticed that there was a new auto loan, or there was credit was all devastated. And what you do is kind of like playing chess when it comes to applying for a loan. You make sure that none of these moves happen before the closing. That way the realtor's commission is protected, the buyer is protected, and there's no surprises at the end, which I respect, because a lot of agents, loan officers, they just keep their fingers crossed and hope that nothing happens, and don't have a dialogue, don't educate their clients like you're saying.
It's a proactive approach to understanding that these individuals who are buying a property don't speak our language. They're not involved in the real estate world every day, so they need to be constantly reminded that you're under the microscope, if you would, with respect to your finances. So you can't go buy furniture for your house before you own it. You can't go lease a new car. You can't run your credit at all. You can't remove funds from your bank account. You basically can't live.
You can't get 10% off at Macy's.
No, you basically cannot do anything that requires credit inquiry or changes your financial picture, because the lender is to the last minute verifying your employment, asking you for updated bank statements, asking you for updated pay stubs to see that you're the same person that they approved in the beginning of the transaction at the end. So yeah, we protect, like you said, our realtor relationships. We watch them very, very closely, and we understand that your commission is in our hands, and we want to make sure that we do everything possible to avoid something that could be avoided.
Now, let me ask you this, now that you brought up a good point. Why should a realtor work with, let's say, your branch or with you in particular? What do you offer that's different? I mean, I'll give you my perspective, but I want you to touch on that because you do have a lot of realtor relationships, and most of your business comes from realtors.
Right, so with some of our larger realtor relationships, we are open to assisting with a lot of your social media, a lot of your internet marketing, a lot of the things that make you present in today's market. You know, while in today's market, obviously we have the old school face-to-face client that is really more comfortable with coming into your office. And then there's the client that doesn't ever want to see you, they want to do everything online. So we as a company understand that your presence online and on those sites that people migrate to first, millennials if you would, we understand that that's important for our realtors' growth, and we understand that there's a financial aspect that comes with that. So that's one of the things that we do to obviously partner with realtors that are looking to partner with us. Aside from understanding that in essence we work for our realtors. You know, you guys are the lifeline of our pipeline. That rhymed. It's very true. We look to earn the trust for you guys to give us referrals, and we make sure that the dynamic of the relationship is clear. You know, we constantly update our realtors on the pipeline. They know what's going on before anyone else, and we absolutely make sure that the client feels that they're getting the service levels required to never have to come back to the realtor and say, the loan officer you gave me isn't giving me a call back. I don't know what's going on with my loan. Can you find out? Because obviously that puts the trust in our relationship in jeopardy. So marketing support to whatever extent is needed based on the business that's being done on the team. Service and proactiveness with the clients, I would say, is what really sets us apart. Aside from product, which we do pretty much at every program under the sun, but the programs are as good as the type of clients that are coming in the door with respect to how much you need to use them. So education is something that we focus on when we do get an initial referral.
Yeah, well, I know that working with you, if I refer you a client, and I'm not just saying this, it's kind of like putting that on autopilot. I know I'll get that client back if it's not right now, if it's in 6 months when they're ready to buy, but you won't drop the ball on that client. So I know they're safe, and I know that if they ever have a question, I'll never get a call from them saying that Landy doesn't answer my calls. Like they always are able to get in touch with you or someone at your office, but most of the time you directly, which is, I don't know how you do it. Your phone must ring like nonstop, because it happens to me and I don't deal with that many clients as you do. So for that, I do want to say that it's kind of unheard of in this business to be able to get in touch with a top producing loan officer at any given time, and I just don't know how you balance all of that. But that's one thing that I think realtors out there would really appreciate, is knowing that they can call you at any time, even on vacations, weekends, you're always answering your phone, which is really, really something special. But enough about that, because what it is that you don't try to attract clients with gimmicks. realtors with gimmicks, because I know a lot of mortgage companies out there that say, well, we've got this, we've got this program for realtors that you can log in and check everything. Yeah, that's crazy. Technology is awesome, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to the performance of the loan officer, of the company, and of their team. And I've never had a complaint coming from your side. I think in all the years we've ever worked together on deals, there's never been a deal that closed, with the exception of one where the seller didn't qualify, not the buyer. Right. It was something that was completely out of our hands, but that is like a track record that I've never seen with any.
Yeah, I mean, we are not the fastest on the pre-approval side, where we're not just shoot out the pre-call and let you go make your offer. Obviously, there's circumstances where we'll do that and give you the disclaimer. Yeah. And the realtors that we work with frequently know exactly what that disclaimer is. It's like, listen, I'm going to give you this piece of paper that gets that offer in, but I'm telling you now, we haven't done our due diligence. Right. We take our time to make sure that we are, number one, validating everything, making sure that that person qualifies, so that you're investing your time into a real buyer. Sometimes that isn't the fastest process, because buyers take time to get documents in, etc. And so we all in this business are looking for instant coffee, and especially in this market where a house is on the market for a day and it goes, we look to have everything done in advance, so that when that opportunity comes up, they're ready to go. So just to speak on the track record, I think that's 100% associated with asking those difficult questions up front, okay, making sure that we're taking a full application to avoid those hurdles, because I mean, there's no truer statement than you're as good as your last deal. Yeah, we could have done 100 deals, and if there was something on a loan, on a transaction that we could have caught and we could have prevented, that's on your mind the next time a referral comes about. So it's one of those things that has to happen, in our opinion, and our staff is trained under that same motto. You have to make sure that you're not giving their realtors a go-ahead without, we're not underwriters, but 99.9% of the time we have enough experience to see something that's not going to work in advance, before you spent 6 weekends showing people showing people's properties, and then not being able to get them in the contract.
Yeah, it's a terrible feeling for a realtor. It could be really disheartening. So enough about the realtor aspect of it. But can you tell us about some of the programs that you guys have that maybe are like the hot, buttons right now? I mean, I don't know what's going on in the mortgage world.
Standard conventional and FHA is obviously always there. We service a lot of first-time home buyers. Closing cost assistance is also available on FHA products. That's something that's rare. One of the things that is really a hot button today is renovation, the HGTV loan, if you would. All of these shows, these Property Brothers, etc. Those are, all those people aren't just enormously wealthy. They're using renovation financing to turn a property in the ideal neighborhood into their dream home. It's a simple product, very underutilized, and in some ways misunderstood. Yeah. So for realtors, so that they understand, the buyers take acquisition of the property just like they would any other home, and the renovation starts afterwards. Your commission is paid the day of closing, just like any other transaction. The contractors are the one variable that it's just like adding another party to the mix. However, the potential for you to gain more referrals from those buyers is immense, because the minute that someone takes a property and purchases that property for 20 to 30% less than a property that's turnkey, and redesigns it, makes it their own, and has instant equity, you're the realtor that made that happen. Exactly. And I can't tell you how many success stories I've had, realtors just thanking me for pushing that renovation type product, because sometimes you have an individual who can't afford more than a certain amount, in a particular area and they have to be in that town for whatever reason, the school system, it's where they want to be, you can only find them properties that need renovation.
Correct.
So it's definitely something that I would say, call me, let me give you an education on what the process is so you can set yourself apart as a realtor.
That's exciting for a home buyer to know that if they're priced out of a certain market because they don't make enough to buy a home with turnkey condition, you can buy something that needs a little bit of work and not only get into that school system, but also build instant equity.
Absolutely.
Which is really exciting for a lot of people, and they probably don't know they can do that.
Right.
I get a lot of questions about those types of deals, and people don't have the education or they don't understand.
Absolutely. It's gotten a bad reputation as an impossible product to close. We close a lot of renovation loans month in and month out, and it really helps the clients, most importantly, and it helps realtors get into different markets, get an education on a product that, I've had realtors, they close the first one and then the ideas just start to spew in their head like, all right, well, I can use this in so many different aspects because you can take lower qualified buyers from a loan amount standpoint and now say, all right, well, we have a loan that we can include all of those renovations, and there's a FHA product and a conventional product with renovation, and they're both low down payment. 3.5% and 5% respectively is what you need as a down payment to buy a property and roll in all of the renovations that you need. Another product that is worth mentioning is the conventional Home Possible product. That is a low to moderate income product. In New Jersey, there are no loan limits in a lot of the areas that we work in, and it offers a 5% down conventional loan for multifamilies.
That's crazy.
So it's very unique in that aspect. Typically, anyone looking to buy a 2 to 4 family home is pretty much stuck with an FHA loan if you have less than 15 to 20% down. So the 5% down 2 family is something that predominantly in the areas that we work in is underutilized, and it's a very, very good program. Contrary to the FHA, there is no upfront mortgage insurance premium. The mortgage insurance is reduced. So all around a less expensive option for buyers looking for a 2 to 4 unit property.
That's awesome. Well, it seems like you have a wide array of products I've never heard of before, but the renovation is something that's really hot. And I know that when it comes on our side with bank-owned properties, a lot of banks won't accept a deal unless it's a renovation loan, because there are going to be de-winterization that they don't want to do. There may be utilities that might be missing from the property. So it is a good option for people that know that they can use to qualify with as little as 3.5% down.
Correct. So that's a good point to bring up, because a lot of the properties that we are doing renovation loans are bank owned or short sales, and the immediate concern is obviously for the bank, how quick can we close? How fast can you get it done? We've done renovation loans in as little as 30 days. It's pretty much the standard because of all of the due diligence that we do up front. We prepare everyone that's going to be involved prior to. We do a red carpet renovation call with the buyer and the realtor initially when we have a client that is considering renovation, to review every step of the process, making sure that they understand what the sequence is, what comes next, and what they need to be prepared to do. We have HUD consultants that we use frequently and have a great relationship with, who are basically at beck and call. They turn our inspections around quickly. And the one thing, obviously, in all transparency, is the contractors. When dealing with renovation loans, a good contractor who's responsive, that has all their ducks in a row, is going to be the best bet, not your cousin that does some handiwork on the side. That's not the individual that's right for that type of product. But again, with education and with setting the right expectation up front, a 30-day closing on a renovation loan is standard for us. Cool. It's standard for us. And we are the number 5 lender the fifth largest lender in the country for renovation. Obviously, we have aspirations to get to number one. Some large lenders just exited the renovation platform because of the fact that it's a lot involved after the fact. And once the loan closes, there's management of the escrow account. There's a lot of people involved to make those loans work, but it's something that we feel passionate about as a company. I think that it is going to give regular buyers the opportunity to buy some of those properties that the investors are buying and turn them into homes.
That's awesome. Now, if somebody's interested in getting pre-qualified for a loan, or a realtor wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way to catch you?
Absolutely. So I'm always available, like you said. It's Annie Mac Home Mortgage. It's 973-265-1610 is the direct line to my office. Cell is 908-553-5404, or via email lgarcia@annie-mac.com.
Awesome, brother. Thank you for stopping in today. I really appreciate the information. I'm sure you probably get a lot of people contacting you about this stuff. Thanks again, brother. You're the man. Thank you.